Cruising sucked for him. Venues were always full. Couldn't get to do anything. Getting back on a ship is BS. Hey folks, I'm Walter. You know, the whole purpose of what I'm doing here is to help dispel some myths, some misconceptions, and get your expectations set for your next cruise vacation, or hopefully your first cruise vacation. I had a person recently comment in a thread that, look, cruising sucked for him. It didn't meet his expectation. The venues were always full. I couldn't get to do anything. And, you know, getting back on a ship at 5 o'clock is BS for all aboard. So obviously he had some expectations about what the cruise was going to be that it didn't fulfill. So let's talk about 4 things that everybody should know before you take your first cruise. Now, 1, they're not all inclusive. There are some cruise lines out there, especially the ultra luxury cruise lines, where literally everything is included the moment you get on board. But the mainstream cruise lines that all of us talk about have varying levels of what is and is not included in your cruise fare. So you have to make sure you understand the specific cruise line that you're going to book and that specific itinerary and ship that you're going to book. You need to understand what you're actually going to get for that money, and then all of the things that you're going to have to pay extra for. Now, those things can include specialty dining, alcohol, soft drinks, excursions, and even activities on the ship. So make sure you fully understand what's included and what's not included before you book your cruise. Now, just like any other vacation, you can't do everything. I mean, the brochures show all these beautiful venues and all the things you can do, but the venues fill up. Activities on board will sell out. Restaurants on board will sell out. Excursions and activities on land will sell out. And it's just like any other vacation. You know, we go to Disney World all the time and we can't do the rides because the lines are too long, or we can't get into a restaurant because we can't get a reservation. It's the same on a ship. So you have to manage your expectations on what you're going to be able to do. And if there's something you really want to do, you need to book it like the moment you can, whether it's before the cruise or the moment you get on the ship. You need to go ahead and book it to get your best opportunity. And those smaller venues, if you really want to see the comedy show or the piano show, you're going to have to get there early and line up just like you would have to do on land. Now, unlike a land-based vacation, your time in a port or a town or a city is relatively short. We've had stops as short as 4 hours and as long as 10 hours. There are some ships that will stay overnight in a port, giving you more options, but when it's time to go, that ship's gonna go and go on to the next port. Now, that's what we love about cruising, the fact that we can visit different ports, different cities, even different countries in a single voyage. But if you're the kind of person that, look, I just wanna find a spot and really chill out and get to know this area, cruise may not be for you. And I think one of the biggest disappointments may come from the fact that itineraries can change. Even after the ship has sailed away and started the voyage, your itinerary can completely change. You can miss ports, you can change ports, you can even change the order of things happening. Usually it's weather related, but there can be a variety of reasons why the ship has to change the itinerary. And if you're the type of person that my vacation is going to be ruined if we don't do this thing on that day, cruising may not be for you, because you really do have to be able to go with the flow. To understand that there are sometimes things beyond the cruise line's control that forces a change in the itinerary or for you to miss a stop. And in fact, there is a very long contract that you will sign when you book the cruise. And in there somewhere, it basically says, we have the right to change the itinerary and change the ports at any time without notice. Usually that just means an extra sea day, so you get to spend more time on a ship, but sometimes it means you're just visiting a port that you didn't expect to, and for us, that's kind of a cool surprise. So those are 4 things to manage your expectations before you book your first cruise. In some ways, it is very similar to a land-based vacation going to a resort, but then in other ways, cruising is a completely different way of vacationing. And if you can go with the flow, I think you'll really enjoy what cruising has to offer. Now, what about the rest of you? What other advice would you have to help manage expectations, especially for those people taking their first cruise?